Good morning, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. We're going to end on a funny note this morning. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Make sure that you watch the video to the end because there's quite a lot of funny moment from Meltdown FC. Yes, the Smurfs. It is quite funny. But anyway, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It is completely free for you to subscribe to the channel. There is no financial gain to me for you to subscribe, none at all. I don't get paid per subscriber or anything like that, and it does get us closer to the 18,000. We're currently sitting on 17,102. Yes, just a couple of days ago we crossed over the 17,000, and we're sitting 102 above that. We are on the road to 18,000, and a lot of people are saying, let's get to 1888. That would be a fantastic figure to go to, but I want to get past that. Anyway, I digress slightly. I'm going to talk about one of the comments, actually. It's always fun in games when you get a Rangers fan. Before we go into the Celtic news, there's quite a few stories that I want to talk about. Obviously, Matt O'Reilly, Gustav Lager-Belke. I want to talk about a goalkeeper that has been suggested could come to Celtic. I think it's nonsense. I want to talk about Cameron Carter-Vickers speaking about the fact that there's an element that he thinks that of the Celtic support. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then obviously the and finally moment. But yes, a Rangers, and you know the poll that we did, and thank you to everyone that has taken part in the poll. There's been quite a lot of people, and there's even been a few Saveconians, which is a laugh because you have to go into the channel. There's been a change overnight again. Well, Martin O'Neill is still, and it's funny because I'm reading some of the comments. I digress, sorry, but we'll get into the main news in a minute. But I digress. When you look at the poll, there's been over 1,200 people have voted. I want to try and get that up. I'm going to keep this poll running. So if you haven't voted on the poll, please do. And it was who's the best manager in recent times? Martin O'Neill, Gordon Strachan, who took Celtic to the last 16 of the Champions League. And he's only on 5%. It's funny how people think of the Martin O'Neill years in the whole 2003 run, and then fans think about Ange because he's probably more fresh in the mind. But even though Gordon Strachan probably achieved more with the money that he had in terms of European success than Brendan Rodgers and Ange Postecoglou. Ange Postecoglou was brought in, and you all remember when he was brought in, it was a brand new dawn. It was a brand new dawn. Well, dawn didn't last long, did he? But anyway, we digress. 60% Martin O'Neill, 5% Gordon Strachan, 17% Brendan Rodgers, and 18% Ange Postecoglou. So there's still time for it to be changed. I want to try and get up to 2,000 votes on it. So if you haven't voted, tell your mates to vote on it. Tell everyone that you know to vote on it as a Celtic fan. I want to try and get in a couple of thousand votes on this poll. We are sitting at 1,200 votes at the moment. So we need about another 800 people. This channel gets about 10,000 views a day. That should be easy. If you haven't done it, just go into the channel and then go into the community tab and vote, please, because I think it's interesting. And I think it is interesting that a lot of people have said, you know, Mr. O'Neill, but Strachan is underrated. Got us back to the last 16 in the Champions League, beating teams like Benfica, Man United, AC Milan and stuff. And Martin O'Neill was also the first manager to do 3 in a row since. But then we've done 3 in a row quite a few times. Anyway, there's a lot of comments in it. I voted O'Neill, but I loved all those managers. Got to remember Martin's days were different. We were equal to England teams. Yeah, we could pay the same wages as English teams back then. It was roughly about 25, 30 grand a week. We haven't moved much forward, further forward, have we, as Celtic fans? Anyway, let's get to the Celtic news and the Celtic transfer news of the day. Now, I've not really spoken about, well, I've spoke briefly about the whole Matt O'Reilly situation and the fact that Matt O'Reilly has been left out the Denmark squad. You've got to remember, before the Euros were even announced or anything like that, Matt O'Reilly had only played a couple of times for Denmark. And it was a big step up for him, going from the under 21s or whatever it is, and then moving up to the full squad. He'd only done it a couple of times. His form took a bit of a dip the second half of the season after being linked with, and it does make you wonder though. There is someone come out in Denmark and slated him. I mean, Thomas Gravesen is spoken out, and other people have spoken out saying that Matt O'Reilly should have been there, but should have really. He is a young player. He's got his time is on his side. Time is on his side. There's a lot of players that have been there and in and around the squad that have played more game time for the national team that have been given the shout from Matt O'Reilly. If Matt O'Reilly had moved in the winter transfer window, would he have been picked for the Denmark team? Would he have even been playing as many games for the Spanish team if he had went there? But he didn't go there, and I kind of think it's going to play into Celtic's hands the way that this is all going to fall about during the summer. I think it'll make Matt O'Reilly even more. I think Matt O'Reilly's an honest guy. Comes across as an honest guy, and unless the board accept a crazy bid and push him out the door, he will see this as an opportunity to prove people wrong. He will see it as an opportunity to come back to Celtic after the summer, enjoy the summer off, come back to Celtic and get really fit and really ready for the Champions League running. And then Matt will want to go out and prove it himself in the Champions League against the best players in Europe. Never mind doing it at a European Euros, Euros and that kind of stuff. It's all fun and games, but the Champions League is where it really matters for players. And it's nice to get called up for your national team and blah, 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 blah. But let's face it, the majority of fans have really not got much time for this international football stuff. The bread and butter and the things that gets them excited is their team. Matt O'Reilly will spend the summer watching the Euros thinking, I could have been playing there, but I'm not. So it's going to get his mindset thinking, I want to go out and I want to do it in the Champions League and I want to prove everyone wrong. And that's what he's done at Celtic so far. He's proven everyone wrong. He walked away from Fulham when he had the chance of a 3-year contract. He made himself, he never had a team. He went to MK Dons to get game time, knowing that he was going to have to work himself up the ladder. And sometimes when in life, when you feel that you've reached a bottom, right, and there is only one way is up. It's about that song goes, the only way is up, baby, for you and me now. Anyway, we've been told to stop singing on the channel. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, Matt O'Reilly, and I've done it myself in years gone by, when you think that you're at rock bottom and you think that things can't get any lower. And Matt O'Reilly would have been there at that point in his career where he's without a team, he's training on a public park, and he knows that he's going to be an amazing football player. He knows in his mind that he wants to reach the top of the game. He knows in his mind he wants to play in the Champions League. He knows in his mind that he wants to play for his country that he'd chosen, and that was Denmark. He knows that this summer has given him a fantastic opportunity to maintain his fitness and get his mindset 100% focused. So that when he joins Celtic in the summer for the pre-season, he is 100% focused on making sure that he is his best going into this Champions League competition for Celtic. Let's hope that is the way that it works out. I, for one, personally hope that that's the way that works out, because I want him to go to the highest level as a player, but I want him to do it with Celtic first. I want him to do it with Celtic and show the world what they're missing, so that the Celtic do get an incredible offer of 25 to 30 million pound for the player. But I think that Matt O'Reilly is all playing right into Celtic's hands. So whilst a lot of people are speaking out saying it's terrible that he's not been picked, let's take the positive look on it. And let's take the positive, always look on the bright side of life. Yes, remember that song? Fantastic one for the 1990s as Celtic fans. Always look on the bright side of life. Anyway, one player that needs to look on the bright side of life is Gustav Lagerbielke. What will happen to him this summer, along with a lot of other players? Gustav, I was really excited about the prospect of him, but it looks like that he is a player that may be on the move, and he's bound to be feeling it because, having been named one of the best players in the league back home, the 23-year-old defender came to Celtic, and he's still at an age where he could develop into a top player, but looks like his days are numbered at Celtic. Now, a player that probably had more years at Celtic than he would would he have amassed the same number of games at Celtic in the modern era? That man is Peter Grant. Yep, Peter Grant. Peter Grant, I love Peter Grant, and I always remember his testimonial, where he's the only person that missed an open goal with his testimonial. But Peter Grant, he played in a fantastic team with Tommy Burns and Paul McStay and people like that at the time, and John Collins, etc. And he did play in a team that was with players a lot better than him. he's come out and said, now I do love Grant, I do love Peter Grant, but he's come out and said that Celtic should go for David De Gea. Yes, the player that Man United let go a year ago that has been without a club for over a year. He says that Celtic should go. No, Peter, come on. Jesus. It is. It's silly season, isn't it? Well and truly silly season. Ah, Jesus. That's enough of that story. Anyway, let's get to the sort of the big one of the day before we get on to the and finally moment. Did you like that song? It's just total silly season. Anyway, Cameron Carter Vickers has said that there's an unacceptable element at Celtic. Shock horror headline. What is he talking about? Is he talking about the Palestine flags? Is he talking about the Green Brigade? Is he talking about the board not spending any fucking money? Is he talking about the price of pies? Is he talking about the price of the tiny little pizzas that you get at Celtic Park? No! He's talking about we shall never be defeated. We shall never be defeated. Yes, he says he's expressed his concern that the feeling from the fans was unbelievable towards the end of the season. He said you got that feeling that it was unacceptable to lose this league. Come on. The players felt it. He says, look, when you think about it, he's on international duty with Copa America at the end of this month, and he'll be playing friendlies against like big teams like Colombia and Brazil. Massive. I used to love it when you got the World. I prefer the World Cup to the Euros because you get these teams that you never see before. And I always remember as a kid when Scotland played in the World Cup. Long time ago. And Scotland were regulars in the World Cups. Anyway, we digress. But he's went on to say that, look, Celtic are a massive club. He says there's always pressure when you're at Celtic. There's always pressure every single game. He says the title race this year got a little bit close. And to be fair, it was probably our own fault that it got as close as it did. We did accept a bit of liability. And things weren't looking too great. He says, but even when there's only 1 point in it, he says you get that feeling from the fans. You could see it in the fans' faces at away games and at home games at Celtic Park that it would have been unacceptable to lose the league this season. He said that definitely helps you as a player. It definitely helps you. And it helped this group of players. It helped motivate this group of players. It helped them get it over the line. It helped them push on because we knew that they were there for us and we had to be there for them. Oh, fucking man. Oh, man. Football-wise, he says, look, it's really tough. He says, it doesn't compare to international football. He says, but he says the players have seen it firsthand, and a draw is worse, just as bad as a loss at Celtic. Seriously. He said, never in your lifetime will you feel this at any other club. Never in your lifetime will you feel that when you go to a club and you get a draw is sometimes seen as a good result. Rangers thought they won the league with a draw, he said. Yes. Rangers thought they won the league with a draw and they'd done a stadium tour and they sold DVDs. We are the champions of a draw. We'll be walking away this summer. Talking about walking away, we'll get on to that in a minute. Anyway, you can tell it's the morning video. The morning video is always about woo. That first coffee in the morning just really gets you going. It's like, you fucking hell, I should really do decaffeinated coffee or something just to level the tone a bit. I like to get you excited in the morning. There's no use being the same as every other Celtic channel out there. Someone needs to give you a little bit of pop and push in the morning with your Celtic media. Anyway, the big man says the title race this year got a bit close. You could see it from our fans. It would have been unacceptable to lose it. That definitely helps you and keeps you on your game. Football-wise, it is mental. It is mad. It's really tough. It says when you think about it and when you look at it, and I've seen it firsthand, players freeze because they get a draw. and the fans make it as if they've been as a massive loss, like a total tanking. He said it's unacceptable. The Rangers were breathing down our necks because of results that we had. He said, but our quality, head and shoulders up. Our quality shone through, and we won the league. We won the league. Yes, we did that, and we won it by a good number of points. So get it right up, yous. And anyway, with us winning the league, it brought around a bit of a downfall. A downfall to the team across the city who are going through a rebuild. Yes, and this is the and finally moment of the video. Yes, an old Trevor McDonald saying where he used to bring you some good news at the end of another word. Yeah, just after all the shite of the day and murders and whatever and Tory party news, they would go and finally to the younger members of the crew. Go on YouTube it, Google it or whatever. But anyway, and finally, so we're here. There's a player. This fucking cracks me up. There's a player that is now leaving Celtic who says, "No, sorry, no, he's not leaving Celtic. Sorry, fuck." He's leaving Rangers. I can't even say their name. There's a player that is leaving the Rangers, the Sevco in disguise. You're the Sevco in disguise. Yes, you are. Anyway, he says, I didn't know when I walked through these doors of the place I had no connection with. After 3 years, it would have touched me like it has. Oh, I bet you. Serial loser. Anyway, after some amazing highs of 2 cup wins. Some amazing highs of 2 cup wins in all these years. I'm extremely proud. I'm extremely proud of my cup wins. I'd like to thank drumroll Stephen, drumroll Gio, drumroll Michael, drumroll Felipe. Fucking Jesus. He's name checking every manager that he's worked with at Rangers, and he says, I'm extremely proud knowing that we have done and we could have done everything that we could. I need my cereal bowl this morning. We need the cereal. But anyway, I'd like to thank my teammates and blah 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 blah. No, I did that blah 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 thing. What the fuck? Just say the whole comment. See, that was in my vid. That was forget it. Anyway, absolutely funny as fuck. And he included. He did include in his montage. In his montage, he included a few tackles against Celtic. And yes, he included the montage, included the tackle that got him sent off against Celtic. Fucking quality. That's a big fucking like that to the Rangers fans, isn't it? Absolute quality. Anyway, what makes it even funnier, after months and months of being called serial losers and fucking get him out his shite and all the things about his greeting face and all the rest of it, their fans have come out and wished him well and everything and said that he was a fantastic player. So proud of you and everything you achieved. I'm not joking. So proud of you and everything you achieved. You always put your heart and soul into the club. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, you couldn't make it up. You cannot make it up. Anyway, on that note, if that's not got you laughing this morning, I need to go and shave because I need to. Oh man, I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. And on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world.